friends! So, my name is Deja Gonzalez, for those of you who don't know, and I wanted to document my journey of getting gastric sleeve surgery. I am 1 full month out, and I got it done December 10th. It is now January 11th, and I just wanted to come on here and give some advice. I know I'm like a baby gastric sleeve patient, but there's still a lot of stuff that I have learned, that I will learn, and am learning. But if anyone is thinking about getting it, I know it was extremely helpful for me to look at people's journeys every step of the way. Very grateful to all the people who have posted their journeys so far, and hopefully my journey can help you. I got it done pretty young, considering a lot of people I've seen have been getting it done the older they are. I wanted to get this done, honestly, 4 years ago, but we're all here for a reason. It's all okay. And I wouldn't trade it for the world now that I'm a month out. I will say it was difficult. It will be difficult, but I wouldn't trade this for anything in the world. So I'm going to share a little bit about my journey throughout this whole thing so far, and I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you have any suggestions that helped you, leave them down below. I'll leave my Instagram and my TikTok down below as well. You can ask me any questions there or here, wherever you're feeling comfortable. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. So the first thing I want to talk about is my experience getting surgery and my time at the hospital. So the surgery went smoothly, so they say. I don't know. I was asleep, of course. But once I got to the recovery room, I think I woke up within 30 minutes or so. All I remember saying really was that I wanted some water because my mouth was extremely dry. And I do remember being in a little bit of pain, but nothing unbearable. The pain was pretty much like a normal surgery if you've had surgery before. However, I personally have never had a bad experience with anesthesia. This surgery, I don't know what happened, but I had a horrible experience. My reaction was really strange. It never happened to me before. And they were even checking my charts to make sure I didn't have weird reactions to anesthesia. But basically, my surgery was done on a Friday. I stopped eating normal food Monday. Monday morning, actually, is like the last time I had something semi-solid. So I hadn't had anything in my system. So for some reason, I was like throwing up, but more so dry heaving because there was nothing in there to throw up. So I was just dry heaving, like basically from the moment I went to my personal room after recovery until 4 in the morning, and I was in that room from like 5 p.m. So just hours of just throwing up, and it was really alarming for me because it had a slight reddish tint to it, so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm throwing up blood. I was freaking out. They said it was normal, like, you know, with stomach acids and just having surgery, sometimes people do throw up blood a little bit. So I was scared, but I guess it was nothing to worry about. But every little thing they gave me, I could not keep it down. Water, no. The pills I had to take, no. Like, it was awful. And I didn't go to sleep until like after 4 in the morning. They woke me up at like 6 in the morning to like give me all these tests. I had to do my vitals, I had to check my IV bag, I had to get my blood drawn, just so many things. So it was a little bit overwhelming. After that like initial night into the morning, that afternoon on Saturday, I wasn't throwing up anymore, but I started to experience some pain for sure because the anesthesia was now fully worn off. So one thing I will say is don't be afraid to ask for the medicine if you do feel like you need it. Luckily for me, they knew I was going to be in pain once the anesthesia did wear off, so they just brought it to me. They also brought me some anti-nausea medicine because I don't know what happened, but I was really nauseous. And besides the pain of like, you know, my stomach kind of clenching because I was throwing up so much, I would say comparable to that would be the gas bubbles you get. Like, think of it as like I have to burp and that pressure you feel building up in your chest, but then you just don't burp. But along with not burping, the pressure travels from your chest to your stomach to your shoulders, back to your chest, it just awful, awful pain. It hurts so bad. Besides that, I was up and walking on Saturday, like not even 24 hours after I had my surgery. I was up, I was walking, I was going to the bathroom by myself. So they definitely, at least from my experience, some hospitals are different. Some hospitals make you wait a little bit longer. Some hospitals don't let you get up to go to the bathroom. It all depends. I did everything by myself. Besides walking up and down the hallway the first time, someone walked with me halfway to the hallway. Then I walked the remainder of the hallway, and then I walked back. I did it one more time, and then I was pooped. I had to sit down. So it just depends. Every hospital is different, like I said. Mine was really big on wanting us to start doing, because you don't really have that much time that you need to recover really from this, which sounds weird, but it's not. And just in case nobody knows, hopefully people who are clicking on this video either are friends of mine and they already know because I've talked about it, or people who are thinking about getting surgery. But gastric sleeve surgery is a weight loss surgery. It is not a cosmetic procedure. It is a medical procedure. So insurance should cover it. Sorry if you hear something. These walls, I don't know, they're thin in my apartment. Someone's moving their chairs upstairs. But it is not cosmetic, like I said. It's medical, so most, if not all, insurance should cover it. The only way your insurance wouldn't cover it is, let's say, for example, this is my second time trying to get this done. The first time I tried to get it done, my doctor I was working with switched hospitals. My insurance did not cover that hospital. So it covered him as a surgeon, but it did not cover the anesthesia, did not cover the anesthesiologist, it did not cover the hospital stay, any medications, so it was going to be way too expensive. So that's the only way you might have issues with your insurance, but mine was completely covered. I went to a different doctor, obviously, so it's completely covered. So gastric sleeve, the one that I got, is when they take out about 3/4 of your stomach and you're left with a fourth or a sleeve of your stomach. So they do completely remove it. It depends on how the doctor wants to do it. Some of them just remove it. Some of them have like a little bag in there. Everything's done laparoscopically. So it's like a little robot thing, and I have 5 incisions, and each one is used for different tools. One of them is used for the camera, one of them is used to pull the stomach out. So the biggest suture is what took the longest to heal, obviously. But so yeah, they took out 3/4 of my stomach. It's just gone, so I eat like a little baby bird now, and it doesn't really bother me. I made this choice, so I was aware of what came with it, and I've even gone out with friends to eat since then. Once I could have something semi-normal, I went out to eat with my friends, and it was fine. They knew about it, so I didn't feel weird. I also only went out with a couple of friends, but I could imagine if I was out with a bigger group of people, it would have been even more comfortable, because they're not going to be staring at me, just eating 2 bites and being done. So yeah, that's the surgery, gastric sleeve surgery. There's a couple different kinds of gastric surgeries. There's a gastric bypass, which is when they take out say this is your entire stomach, they take out like a little pouch at the top and they reattach it to your small intestine. That one has a few more risks with it, which is why I got the gastric sleeve. With mine, with any of them really, but say I plateau at a certain point and I'm not happy with how much weight I've lost, I can transition to the gastric bypass if I wanted to. It's all up to me. There's also I think it's called duodenal switch. I don't know what that one means. So I do apologize. I really have no idea. And along with those, some gastric doctors will include like the lap band. Not all of them though. Most of them don't, but the lap band is another form of a weight loss surgery that can help you. And that is the only one that is reversible. So it's all up to you. This is not reversible. Gastric bypass is not reversible, and I believe the other one is also not reversible. But honestly, 100% worth it in my opinion. So the next thing I want to talk about is like coming home from the hospital and how weak I was and for how long. So I came home on a Sunday afternoon, early afternoon, and I was pretty weak. I found myself sleeping quite a bit. I would pretty much just get up to make sure I got my fluids in, got my protein in. I had like a lot of clear protein, which for me, I chose to get isopure protein powder and mix it with water and like a sugar-free packet of some sort, you know, like Crystal Light packet, or I got Vitamin Zero, I would mix it with that. And what else could I have during that stage? Jello, and and like chicken broth, vegetable broth, beef broth, those kinds of things. So I would really just eat or drink really, my food and walk around maybe my room or walk around the hallway, and I would be done and I would be pretty tired. I would most likely take a nap after that. That lasted about a full week for sure. And then after the full week, I was able to move on to the next stage of my diet, which was regular liquids. So that included protein shakes, like actual protein. Like if you like them, Premier Protein. I recently, just yesterday, tried Ensure Max Protein, and I wasn't too mad at it. It also has 30 grams of protein, which is great. My preference is the Equate Walmart brand protein. They don't have as many flavors as the Premier, but I like the consistency. I'm really big on consistency and textures, so that's what worked for me. It doesn't have to be what you use, but it's what worked for me. Once I moved on to that stage, I got a little bit more strength, just because I was, consuming something a little bit more normal. Along with that stage, I was able to have unsweetened applesauce, butternut squash soup, I think. Like, kind of like pureed vegetable soups. And sugar-free pudding, stuff like that. That's when I started to get a little bit more energy, and I was walking around a lot more. I was able to go up and down my cul-de-sac, just different things. So I would say feeling weak lasted about a week and a half for me personally. It just depends on how much you really let your body rest. Don't feel bad for sleeping throughout the day or not doing anything, or even if you're just sitting down like how I am now and moving your legs like you're walking, that's still something, and it's good. But definitely do something at least every hour to 2 hours, because if you don't, you could risk blood clots, you could just risk, your body not healing. It sounds weird, but definitely be a little active during your healing process, just because it aids in everything. It helps you heal faster, which, like I said, sounds weird, but it really does. It helps you heal faster, and it definitely prevents those blood clots or lack of circulation in your legs or whatever. So definitely walk around. It's so important. Even if it's just up and down your hallway twice and then you sit down, that's still something. And just make sure you get up and do it again. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Listen to your body. If you got up to go to the bathroom and you're not feeling good, don't try to walk up and down your hallway. Just sit back down, maybe try to drink more protein, and try again. So that's my advice for that, and that's how long I felt weak, about a week and a half. Getting in proteins and fluids. This is kind of hard, and I'm a part of a Facebook page of a lot of bariatric patients, and it seems like even, a year in or a month in, getting down either the protein or the fluid is still a challenge. Now, it's so hard to do because your stomach is so small. So you're constantly drinking and you can only fill up so much. And it's, say you have a 32-ounce water bottle. After drinking all these sips and thinking, oh, I'm doing great, I'm getting my fluids in, you'll see you're only down 2 ounces. And you're like, I just drank something for 20 minutes, 30 minutes straight, and and that happens. It's pretty normal to take that long. For example, when I finally transitioned to my second stage of regular liquids, it took me 45 minutes, I think the first time an hour, to finish that protein shake, the Equate protein shake. So don't feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to do if it takes you a while to get those liquids down, because you just don't have that much room, and if you do it too quickly, you'll get pains so bad. I remember one time I was like sipping the last bit a little too quickly, and it like got a little pain in my chest. So you just have to be really careful. Listen to your body, which is hard to do. It's hard to adjust to the new body that you have, and learning to listen to it, knowing what the little sounds mean, knowing what the pains mean or the pressure means. Is it because I have a gas bubble and I tried to drink some water and now it just feels weird? Is it because I ate too much and I'm full? There's just a lot of learning that I'm still doing, so I can't even say, and it's going to be different for everybody. But the biggest thing I can stress is to listen to your body, because it will tell you when something isn't right. You may not know for sure what it is, but it will tell you. So I recommend, my hospital actually gave me one. It's a 24 ounce water bottle, and it says on there to try to drink two to three of those a day. So with that, I'll put my vitamin water in there and my protein, shake it up, drink that. I'll normally do 2 of those. And then I have like a normal water bottle that I drink water out of that's a 32 ounce. So between the two, I'm pretty much getting all my liquids that I need, and I'm getting some protein because I put those 2 scoops of the Isopure into it. The Isopure, I have it up here right now. It's 16 grams of protein per scoop. So if I'm putting 2 in, it's great. I'm getting 32. But yes, just doing everything you can to get your protein in and to get your liquids in. And if you can combine them, that's even better, because it's less you have to think about. Like putting those 2 scoops in is really, really easy, because then you're going throughout your day, you're staying hydrated because you have the vitamin water. You also have vitamins, which is amazing, and you have the protein. So it's really good to keep those things down. Speaking of vitamins, take your vitamins. Take whatever they're asking you to take after surgery, because I recently traveled from California back to DC. That's where I go to school. And I kind of slipped up on my vitamins the first actual day I was here, because I got here in the evening. And I felt so tired throughout the day. I was so tired. I took a nap. Like, I had not taken a nap since my first week of post-op. So I knew that something was off, and it was because I didn't take my vitamins that entire day. Vitamins and medications, whatever they prescribe you, make sure you take them. Make sure you take the right amount of them. All of that is so important. So important. And if you feel like you need to add anything to that, definitely talk to your doctor first if it's something that might not mix well, but add it. For example, I'm taking biotin because losing your hair is very common when it comes to a bariatric surgery. So I did not want to lose my hair. Clearly I have a lot of it, and I can afford to lose some, but I don't want to be showering and having it come out in clumps. So I'm taking biotin. It's also been helping with my nails and everything. So I definitely recommend it. I went right into my next one already, about listening to your body. Listen to your body. It's so important. It's hard. It definitely is hard. I'm still learning when I need to stop eating, because you're so used to how you used to eat. You know, it's so easy to get an entire thing of food and think that you're going to be able to finish it, and you're not. Something that helped me a lot is, here, I have one here actually, is like forks that are really tiny, and spoons. I also have tiny spoons. I already had them in the silverware set I bought for my apartment, but I even bought more tiny, like actual for babies, spoons and forks. Well, my mom did. Shout out to my mom. So I have those now, and it's so helpful. It might seem extremely silly, but it's so, so helpful. Also, buying containers, like to bring your food to work or to school, wherever you're going, little containers that are just 1 ounce or half an ounce. And you're going to look at it like, this is nothing. This is no food. Like, I'm going to starve, and you're not. Like, half the time when I was back home, I wouldn't even finish the little half ounce, whatever I put. And it wouldn't be everything I tried to eat was in one individual half ounce container. It was like my little scoop of beans was in that half ounce. My little scoop of chicken was in that half ounce. My little scoop of avocado was in that half ounce container. So just being realistic also is helpful. Buying smaller plates and bowls is extremely helpful, because the big thing about us is, like, it's a mental challenge. It's a huge mental challenge. And if I'm looking at my bowl and it's this big and it's full, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm eating so much food, even though you're not. You're probably eating a full 1 cup of food. So it's just about changing your mindset and also doing the little tricks to help your mindset, because it is hard. It is hard to look at, especially at a restaurant, look at a plate of food that's full and it looks like you didn't even eat it because you had 2 bites. So definitely stay positive. Know that this is not going to change. You're always going to only eat a few bites and only drink a few sips, and you're going to be done, and that's okay. And if you're at dinner with multiple friends and you're there for 2 hours, you're going to go back to that food in 30 minutes or an hour, and that's okay too. It's just know that it's a journey, and it doesn't stop at where I am now. It doesn't stop at a year from now. It doesn't stop at 2 years from now. It's just how your life is now, and that's hard sometimes, especially when the people around you are enjoying things that you can't, or if maybe sometimes your loved ones don't understand quite yet, and they make a lot of comments because they're so used to seeing you eat so much. Know that they don't mean any harm by it. It's an adjustment for everybody. It really is. So just don't be afraid to follow what you're supposed to do. Don't let other people influence you, because they're not in your body. They're not your doctor. They don't know what's best for you. Take what they say with a grain of salt. Take it with grace and say thank you, but I'm okay, and you are okay. And trust me, I had my surgery during the holidays, basically, and having Christmas around my Mexican family and not being able to eat the menudo and the tamales was really hard. And they were all asking me, do you want one? Do you want one? Here, take one. And I couldn't. And although that was difficult, I'm okay. I'm here. I know next Christmas I can have the tamales and the menudo, so I'm okay. And that's the big thing to look at. Like, it's such a short window of time when you really look at it. You have your whole life to enjoy the foods you enjoyed before. So it's okay. And who knows, when you go back to those foods, they may not agree with you. For example, when I went to like my pureed food stage, which is the 3rd stage, I tried to have mushed banana, and I had 1 bite and I couldn't do it. I was about ready to throw up. What else has not agreed with me? Something that I got at Chipotle, tempted to get, didn't agree with me. So you just have to listen to your body. Just listen to your body, and if your body is saying, no, I don't want this, don't eat it. Stop eating it, do something else. It's okay. Especially because you probably served yourself 2 tablespoons. It's okay. Your family will understand, it's totally fine. how to navigate your body when you're eating real food again. So, this one's a little harder. For some reason, I noticed once I was eating real food, it was a little bit harder for me to get my protein in. I thought I would be okay. Like, for example, I am now on week 5 of my diet, so I'm basically on to real food. Week 5 is like, I can have ground beef again, ground turkey, ground chicken, I can have lettuce, I can have whole beans, I can have certain fruits, but they have to be peeled. I can have certain vegetables, but they have to be cooked. Something else, I don't remember. But it's basically back to how I normally eat, because the week before this, week 4, I was able to have soft, tender chicken, fish, turkey, refried beans, like stuff like that. So I'm basically back to how I normally eat, because I don't eat red meat or pork or anything like that. It's a little bit harder to get all the protein in, because a normal serving size of like a protein, like a meat, is maybe like 3 ounces, and you're only getting in 1 ounce. So although that chicken might have 14 grams of protein, divide that by 3 and that's how much you're getting, because you're only eating 1 ounce. So I recommend still putting those 2 scoops of protein in a vitamin water, or what I've been doing, because you have to wait a full month to have caffeine again. What I've been doing now, like this week and a little bit the week before, is putting my protein shake in with like a little bit of coffee. So I'm getting my coffee again, but I'm not overdoing it, because the acid in the coffee can affect an acid reflux if you do develop it, and it's also an appetite suppressant. So you want to be careful about drinking coffee in the morning, because with our small stomachs, we really need all the protein and actual food we can get. So don't replace coffee for breakfast. I'm mostly talking to myself here. So that's a big thing. Be careful on the coffee. If you're a huge coffee drinker, you can't have caffeine for the first like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So be careful. Definitely drink your decaf things. It wasn't that bad for me. But if you really rely on coffee, I would start weaning back on it now, because it is a little difficult. I enjoy coffee. I don't need it, but I do enjoy it. I love coffee shops. Any of my friends can tell you. I love coffee shops. I love going to coffee shops. I love ordering fun coffee drinks, but you can't do that for a while. So be careful about that. But yes, I do recommend doing one or both of those things, because no matter how hard you try, you're really not going to eat that much. I would honestly say you're consuming 2 ounces of food max each meal, and one of those ounces should be protein. So sometimes that's all you can get down is the protein. So you're only eating like an ounce of food, or 1.5 ounces of food. So definitely try to incorporate those things into your liquids still, because that's the easiest way to get it in. Because I noticed when I only did the protein shake in the morning and tried to eat regular food for the other 2 meals, I was not getting in nearly enough protein. You need like 60 grams of protein. And I think the first day that I went on to somewhat normal food, I think I had like 35 grams of protein. Like, no, 50? 50. I think it was 50 grams of protein. But you really need to up your protein when you get this surgery, because that's what helps you keep your energy up, because for a while you're not eating carbs at all, or you're eating very, very low carbs. So protein, protein, protein. No matter what, just if you notice you're not on the protein, find a way to put it into your diet, whether that's through your liquid, whether that's through only eating protein and not trying to add vegetables. Just do whatever you can. I recommend the app, I think it's called Veritastic or something like that. I'll have to look at it and I'll put it in the description, link it and everything like that, because it's a really great app and it's helping me track everything. If you have a Fitbit, which I do have, it helps you track your exercise that way too, if you just link them. Next, exercising. How much to do and what to do. It all depends. Don't push yourself. Do not push yourself. I my first, I think at my second week, we were working on moving into a new house, and I was just bending down and picking up and walking around, and I kind of irritated my wounds that I had. So, and I irritated my stomach. It wasn't feeling very good. So don't push yourself. If you are like extremely overweight, you're having trouble even just moving, just walk while you're sitting. Just raising your legs slowly is still doing something versus just sitting there. Again, this goes back to listening to your body. Listen to your body. If you're getting a pain in your side, that might not be a big deal when you were in high school in PE running the mile, but here you never know. You never know what could be going on in there. You can't see it. You don't know everything about your body yet, so if you're feeling a pain and it's not going away after like a minute, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing and go drink some water or sit down, whatever you need to do. Because we just don't know everything that our body's trying to tell us yet. So exercise as much as you can, as much as you and your doctor agreed is good for you. If you have to go into physical therapy, make sure you do it, make sure you listen to them. But also don't baby yourself. That's a big one. It's easy to do it, super easy to do it. So make sure you're being realistic. Make sure you're telling yourself, I can do this. I can walk up the block and back to my house. Or I can walk to the store today if it's just half a mile. You know, anything that you can do to exercise is amazing. If you're doing a little walking video in your apartment or your home, if you're doing a little Zumba video, if you're walking to the store, like I said, just any little thing can help. And be realistic with yourself and create a schedule. For me, the easiest thing to do is after I eat. After I eat, I'm going to go walk up and down the hall of my apartment. I'm going to go up and down the stairs. I'm going to go to the corner store and back, like whatever it is. That's a really easy way to put the exercise into your schedule. Last couple of things, because I know this video is getting a little long. So, some reasons to do it, they all need to be for you. They all need to be for you. Don't get this surgery done for anyone else but you. If someone's pressuring you to get the surgery, don't get it done. If you are thinking, oh, if I lose weight, this person will like me, don't get it done. If you're thinking, oh, if I lose the weight, my husband or wife will still want me, don't get it done. Get it done for you. Get it done for your reasons. For example, some reasons that I'm getting it done, or that I got it done, one of them is to go to the beach, which is one of my favorite things to do, is going to the beach and not be uncomfortable in the chairs at the restaurants. I don't know what is up with the chairs at the restaurants at the beach, but they are awful. They're fat phobic. But I don't want to be annoyed every time I go to the beach, or I don't want to have to take my food and go eat it on the beach. Sometimes it's okay, but sometimes I want to be able to be inside and enjoy it, and there's a lot of times where I wasn't able to because the seats were just too small. Or I want to be able to go to a restaurant with my friends and not have to either ask them to move because I'm uncomfortable, or be sitting with them uncomfortably because I'm the only one that's uncomfortable. Just simple stuff like that a lot of people take for granted, I'm sure. Or people who have never been fat in their life don't understand it. But it's an awful feeling to be the only one in your friend group who can't sit at the booth or can't sit at that kind of chair. And up until this past year, like 2021, I was extremely uncomfortable to ask for a new chair. Because sometimes I knew they didn't have it, or sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. Like, we're all sitting at this table, and here I am going to find a waiter to ask them if they could bring a different chair out. It sucks. It really does. Another thing, I want to be able to go shopping with my friends and buy clothes. I would lie to myself and buy jewelry and buy earrings. That's why I have so much jewelry now. Like, I would just buy jewelry when I would go shopping with my friends because I couldn't shop at the stores that they were at, but they couldn't shop at the stores that I had to shop at. And if I'm the only one that needs to shop at my stores, I'm not going to force them to go into those stores. So there's a lot of little things. a lot of little things that add up to you realizing that you're really holding yourself back. And that's a horrible feeling, to look in the mirror and be like, it's me. Like, I'm holding myself back. And I've been wanting to get this for a while now. I wish I had gotten it sooner, but I still have so much of my life to live. And if you're older than me, you still have so much of your life to live, and your life will become that much greater and probably longer because you got this surgery. So there's never a right time to do it. Whenever you feel ready, no matter how old you are, definitely get it done. And finally, the last thing I want to talk about are my results. So I started off this surgery. I cannot believe I'm sharing these numbers, but I know I'm going to look back at this maybe even a few months from now, a year from now definitely, and be like, wow, I really did that. So I, Deja Gonzalez, started this journey 22 years young and 443 pounds. I never thought I was going to get to even 400 pounds. I've always been big. I have. Ever since like 6th grade, I've been pretty big. Had some different things going on in my family dynamic, and I just started to emotionally eat. And then I literally haven't even shared most of this stuff with people. But after emotionally eating and I got it a little bit under control, I still felt bad about myself, and I would somewhat binge eat and like force myself to throw up. A lot of different things that I haven't told a lot of people or anybody about. So that's a little bit about me and my journey. But yeah, I never thought I would get to 400 pounds. In high school, I don't remember how much I was, but I wasn't close enough to 400 pounds to think that I would get there. And to be so much over was so upsetting. There were so many things that started to go wrong in my life. Like I've had problems with my knees ever since I was a toddler, and they were just getting worse, and my clothes weren't fitting, and I just felt awful about myself. I really did. Like I can tell that I'm beautiful, and I can acknowledge that while also acknowledging that I was unhealthy. So yeah, but again, 22 years young, started off at 443. I weighed myself this morning because my scale just came in, and a full month out, and I am now 410.2 pounds. What? Like, that is insane to me. I lost 33 pounds in 1 month. And saying that, I want to also say that that's not everyone's truth. There's plenty of people I know who only lost 20 pounds in the month. That is still amazing. If you lose 20 pounds, if you lose 15, if you lose 35, 33, if you lose 40 pounds, whatever it is that you lose is amazing. And don't put yourself down, because that 20 pounds or 15 pounds is still more than you've lost, I'm sure, in a few months. So I just want to put that out there, because it's really easy early on to compare yourself. I have not done it yet. I've been working on my mental strength and my mental health throughout this whole journey, and before the journey, that I worked really hard on not comparing myself. So I think that's why it's easy for me to not do it now. But yes, I think that's it. So those are my results so far, and I will definitely be doing a concrete check-in every month to update you guys. But yes, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, like I said before, please leave them down below or on any of my social media. I will link them all below for you. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. And I want to thank all of you for being a part of my journey, because now you are a part of it. And I'm so happy I went on this journey. And if you are currently on this journey or almost on your way to this journey, congratulations. And I hope you know how much your life is going to change and how strong you are, and that you've got this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.